Hey, what's going on? This is your host, Isaac M. Hamm III, and you are now watching Love Your Brand Live podcast. I am super excited to have one of my best friends. I think it's the first time I'm saying this on TV, but one of my best friends, closest friends in the industry, I also work for her at the same time. So, the Kiana Dancie, comedian, author, all things excellence. I want to welcome her. Kiana Dancie.
Thank you.
Kiana Dancie.
I love it. All things excellent.
You have to add that the. So let's just jump right into it because
Let's do it.
I know you, but the people don't know you. So.
Some people do.
Did you wave to the people? Did you wave to the people?
Hey, people.
Gotta let the people know because the Kiana Dancie is in the building.
Yes,
so
sir.
who is Kiana Dancie?
Well, the Kiana Dancie,
But,
and
who's Kiana before?
Oh,
the
you
the?
want to get into
I
that?
wanna
Okay,
know,
well,
because where you from? Because aren't you from like a little town called?
you tried it. So I am originally from Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay.
I grew up here in Atlanta. I always say I'm a Georgia girl with a Texas heart. And I say that because I lived in Texas and I fell in love with it many years ago. But I was born in Cleveland, Ohio. And my mother moved down here when I was on vacation. Now, let's be clear, okay? Like, she literally came down here on vacation and was just like, we're not going back.
Oh, snap.
Yes.
Okay.
She read an article about a lady named Monica Kaufman, who at the time was on she was the biggest daytime newscaster in Atlanta on Channel 2. Mm-hmm. And my mother was reading this article about her, about how Atlanta is the land of the milk and honey and et cetera, et cetera. So my mother came down here, fell in love with Atlanta, fell in love with Monica Kaufman, and was just like, if she can do it, I can do it. Now, let's be clear. My mother ain't never been on nobody's TV. But,
I was going to call her like,
right,
so you an anchor?
Right, no, she wasn't, but she just felt like, this brown girl from wherever she was from was able to come to Atlanta, lay roots, and make something happen. My mother felt like she could do the same.
Gotcha.
Now, I love Cleveland, no shade, but I only go home when people are getting married or buried.
And speaking of that, I was supposed to go to your hometown for a wedding, and I'm not able to make it due to, what we're doing right now and just upcoming things that's happening this weekend.
Come on, busy.
Booked. I'm taking a page from your book, and we're going to talk about your book in a couple of seconds. But so what else about Kiana before the came? Because I think the happened once you became in the industry. But you have a great story. You've quit a job. You've worked at another job. Now you own a business. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about that transition of college to working to quitting, all that stuff.
So I'll give you a little tidbit that you may have not known. The Kiana Dancie is not new, actually. I used to walk around and introduce myself as the Kiana Dancie from day one. I was a Catholic
She
school.
would stop somebody
Listen,
from just saying Kiana and
do
say
you know who
the.
I am? Listen, I went to a private school. I went to St. Joseph Catholic School as a child, and I was the only child for a very long time. And so, as an only child, you get creative. You have to play with your set. That don't sound good. Wait a minute.
We're going to say that for the stage.
Right. Okay. I didn't play with myself, but I had to play by myself, right?
Now, so, did you answer yourself?
I mean, sometimes I talk to myself.
While playing with,
but I didn't answer myself.
Got you.
That part.
Okay.
So I would literally, do things, entertain myself.
Right.
I would literally have talent shows. I would put everybody in the room, my whole family. My grandfather used to drive him crazy. Like, it's time for a talent show. My grandfather used to call me Radio. He was like, Radio, please shut up. Cut her off, because I would go. So the thing is, I would introduce myself as the Kiana Dancie because I was the only one.
Right.
You and me, in my family, there are a lot of Dancies. Mm-hmm. But there's no Kiana. Uh-huh. So Kiana Dancie, the Kiana Dancie, I'm the only one. And come on. You're right. I did a lot of things. But I, as a child, I was an actor. Mm-hmm. I was a model. Listen, I was a catalog model. So let me tell you something. What you're not going to do is overlook the fact that I used to model for JCPenney's and Sears. I was in the...
Bring up the pic. Oh.
Listen, I went to John Casablancas and I did get booked for catalog work.
Nice.
Listen, I was a little too thick to be anybody's runway model, but print I could do. And this gap in my teeth, it took some time for folks to accept it. But yes, I was an actress, a comedian, and not so much stand-up comedy, but I was just entertaining. You know what I mean? As a child, I actually was a tap dancer. Tidbit about Kiana Dancie that you did not know: I played chess.
I'm learning a lot.
I played chess. I actually was very, very good. And we'll get into that later, why I stopped playing chess. I don't want to unpack that yet. But yeah, I stopped playing chess due to some trauma. And but yeah, I went to Georgia Southern University. Mm-hmm. I graduated with honors. Come on, smart girl. And then I got a job with, I was working for Sony, but Sony wanted to move my job to California. Didn't know anyone there and didn't want to go.
Right.
And so, listen, went to stay with my girlfriend in Vegas. Not Ike. Oh, sorry, Isaac. Isaac. I call the man Ike. Isaac. I went to go see my girlfriend in Vegas, and I was on her couch for 2 weeks. And she was like, ma'am.
When you leaving?
She was like, what
when you leaving or when that rent going
Yeah, what is going on? I said, I forgot I lost my job. She was like, sis, you ain't tell me you didn't have a job. I said, well, I didn't know. I thought I'd come out here and hang out with you and see what you're doing. Right. She was like, first of all, we work. So she said, give me your resume. So I submitted my resume. I interviewed with Samsung Telecommunications, got the job, and had to move within 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was in Houston, Texas. Yes.
Okay, and that's how you got to
That's
Houston.
how I got to Houston.
Gotcha.
Yep.
I've never been to Texas.
Oh, they would love you there.
I'm sure I flew over Texas.
I'm sure you have, and it's a great place.
I have not been. I do plan on doing it this year, though.
You should. Food is good. The weather is amazing. Real estate is fantastic. It's a beautiful, beautiful place.
I just saw Carl Thomas, and he was like, oh, let me know. It's a cigar thing or whatever. And he was like, do you smoke cigars? And, of course, I'm like, I'm around it.
You're right. Yeah, I could. Should I?
I don't,
right.
So I'm looking forward to whatever this festival of cigars, but I still want to go so I can eat. So I can eat and,
That's all we look forward to is to eat. We want to eat. But let me tell you something. Texas have beautiful and amazing people. So you definitely enjoy yourself.
And it's a good place to build a business and all that stuff because I feel like Houston is like the sister to Atlanta. It's a lot of black businesses thriving and stuff like that. Then you got your Beyoncés and Meg Thee Stallions that keep it, keep that spotlight on there. So
absolutely,
I think that's maybe that'd be a nice business venture.
Houston is one of those places where I always refer to Houston as baby Atlanta. Okay. So because I grew up here, I've been here since I was 7, or actually I think it was 9. I've been here since I was 9, and I remember Atlanta before it became this. Because before Hollywood came, before it was considered Black Hollywood, and oftentimes when people people who live in Atlanta or from Atlanta, we're always saying, who are these people? Because Atlanta has changed so much. The personality have changed. The demographics have changed. So it is actually kind of scary and sad. But, again, Atlanta is always going to be great, but Houston is what we refer to as baby Atlanta.
Gotcha. So now we're up to Kiana /the, and now we are the Kiana Dancie. So let's talk about what you're doing. Let's talk about the big thing, right, with a lot of people who are in the spotlight, the misconception of a brand, right? So you're loud, and I'm saying that in an endearing way because you are a comedian. You stand in the middle of a floor and get everybody's attention. So what are some of those misconceptions? Because you've had your trials and tribulations with working with others, not working with them, doing solo stuff, and thriving in that. So what do you feel like some people may?
To answer your question directly, misconceptions, I think people really think that I'm always on and I'm always loud. And for a fact that I'm oftentimes when I'm at home, I'm very quiet.
Very quiet.
Yeah, and I because I was the only child. I grew up as the only child. My little brother didn't come till I was 14 years old.
Oh yeah.
So when my brother we ordered him in the mail, child. That man showed up.
You was a little upset about that.
I was bothered. Let me tell you something. When my mother told me that she was pregnant, I was like, ma'am, you didn't take your pill? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, how are we pregnant, lady? Like, I took my pill. Ma'am, did you take your pill? So I was really I was heartbroken at first because it was always mommy and me, And then when I knew that she couldn't give it back, right. I got to make some decisions. I had to adjust. And I did just that. So when my brother came, it was literally like I fell in love with him, and we are so close even to this day. And essentially it was like him having 2 moms and me having a son. I always say that my brother is the child that I did not birth, but I definitely raised.
Gotcha.
So I'm here. I am loud, but that's when I'm on. When the lights, camera, action, when I hear that action and go, I go. But for the most part, I am quiet. I am loving. I am definitely endearing. I'm supportive to my friends and my family around me, and even causes that matters to me.
Right.
People don't realize that I'm very involved with voters' rights, women's rights. I'm very involved in even environmental. I'm an avid avid recycler. Like if I see somebody throwing plastic, I'm like, wait, what you doing? That can't go in the trash. I'm all about recycling. I try to reuse things if I can, right? But I think it's just people. Rodney Perry, I'll never forget this. Rodney Perry always say, "Kiana, you act like you live on your own island," and my response to that is always, "Wait till I can buy my own. Right. Wait till I can buy that island. You will never see me." If I hit the lottery, I'm out of here. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna be no Z Kiana Dancie. It ain't gonna be no comedian, nothing. It's gonna be Kiana is gone. Which right. Kiana's on the island minding her business, naked. You need a boat to get to her. Yes, a whole boat and a plane, all that. Yes.
So, because I personally know you, I know that your mother is a big inspiration in your life, and as you're telling these stories, your brother and also your mom. So, what is that relationship? Because you guys are franchise owners. Mm-hmm. And let's talk about that.
You're the only. The only. So let me explain how that works. So my mom and I can't exclude the fact that my brother is a partner in this business. So my mother used to work for LG.
It sounds so much better though when it's just.
It does. But he don't say much, honey. Right, that baby is quiet. When I say silent partner, like we had to say, "Are you here?"
Right.
He don't say nothing till the money ain't right. You hear me? Okay, so my mom and I and my brother, of course, own CPR cell phone repair franchise in Duluth, Georgia. We used to own the Marietta location. Mm-hmm. COVID gave us an out, thank God. So we are one of two black women. I am one of two black women, the only two black women that owns within the company. Now, let's be clear. There are other black women, but they're married. Mm-hmm. I'm single. My mother is single. So we're the only two single black women that owns a CPR cell phone repair.
Gotcha.
And what does that mean? First of all, I play on a very, very, very male-dominated playground. You know what I mean? Both on this franchise business and also in my stand-up comedy career, right? My brother, he's a third equal partner, but he tends to kind of take the back seat to this because he's more into music. Right. But my mom and I, yes, my mother used to work for LG. I used to work for Samsung. My brother worked for Sony. We all have a technical background. Mm-hmm. When I worked in Houston for Samsung Telecommunications, when they laid me off, that's when I started stand-up.
Gotcha.
I started stand-up. I packed my bags, moved to LA. I was thinking it's now or never, right? Then I kind of circle back and got back to Atlanta because every opportunity, every TV, every movie opportunity was happening here in Atlanta, right, opposed to being in LA.
Right.
So and I'm probably jumping some of your questions, I'm sorry, but I just wanted to explain to you how I even got to the franchise because my mother had back surgery. And she said, "Hey, Kiana, I don't want to go back to work." And I said, "Well, Mommy, make a decision. What do you want to do?" Right. And at that time, I was on Sister Circle. I said, "Well, research some businesses and let's talk about it." And right, she did. We went from a staffing agency. We had a restaurant. Listen, let me tell you something. I don't like to cook for me day to day, so I surely.
So you wasn't the head chef.
I wasn't the head chef. Like I can cook.
You was over HR.
Come on, you hear me? I can cook, but I can cook, but ain't nobody ever like paid me to cook, right, and ain't nobody ever died from what they ate from me. You understand? So I can cook, but not cook.
Right.
So we knew restaurant, probably not. And then my mother found CPR. She was like, "Well, what do y'all think about this?" And so as we researched it, it made sense because of our technical background.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. So you mentioned Sister Circle.
I did.
Right? And you were one of the founding hosts.
Yeah, one of the original hosts of Sister Circle Live.
So, and then you transitioned into the CPR, like going full-time into the CPR. And, when your last day there, and then in season 1, I was there with you. Mm-hmm. And I know that was a time for you to, like, really reflect on life is short. Mm-hmm. You got to own your own shit, because it can be snatched right out of you. So what was that motivation behind making sure that those doors open at CPR?
So, it's interesting that you even asked me that because I actually did not know that I was not going on to second season. I was under the impression that I was one of the 4. Mm-hmm. I actually celebrated with the ladies, popped bottles. I mean, we turned up on that day when we were told we had a second season, and even I took second season promo shots. So I was under the impression, it's happening.
Right.
You
that
know
check
what I mean?
is coming.
That check is coming. It's gonna be cute. Well, this is what I did learn from that. Not only is life short, but opportunities sometimes you are only there for a season. Right. And so it was a blessed opportunity for me, but God knew what my story was. Mm-hmm. If you're a believer, you will understand that God knows your end before you could ever. Right, you know what I'm saying? He knows what's happening. He knows what's directioning. Even if I screw up.
Right.
My steps are still ordered by him. Right. So even if I say, oh, I think I'm gonna go left, he gonna see somehow he gonna make you come back right. So my time there was, came to an end abruptly, but it was fine because I learned so much about myself. And I didn't have sisters in real life, right? So on that show, I had sisters. We loved on each other. Sometimes we hated each other, but again, at the end of the day, we respected each other, right? So when I was replaced in second season, for me, it was just letting me know that with or without this, I will be okay because I had something else going. I'm a woman of. I always say I am, what do you call it? I'm the Jill of many trades, right? Yeah, so I could do many things. I'm a franchise owner. So as soon as they told me that I was not going to go forward with the next, with that show the next season, I grabbed my bag, jumped in my Mozzie, and did what? Went up to my business. You know what I mean? It's okay.
No, let's keep it real. I helped you pack your wig. And I held the door open for you.
Yes, he did.
She's a woman that does not went to touch a door because even coming into the studio today, she was walking. And sometimes I wait and I just look at her and she just sitting there like.
Cause listen,
it could be raining cats, dogs, sinks, elephants, and she would sit there and get soaked. She would not touch.
Here's the thing about my daddy. I always say that my daddy wasn't about nothing, but he was about the business. My daddy was bomb, and the reason I say that is. Oh, that's a long story. But my father never paid a red cent in child support, but my father sent for me every summer. Mm-hmm. My father planted seeds in me that I still to this day utilize. My father said, you are a lady and you let a man treat you as such. So if that door, don't you touch that door. Don't you carry no bag. Now, if the man is struggling, help the man. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Right. But he should want to make sure that you're good. So you a nice man. You got nice big old hands, big feet. You can open up the door. You can open up the door.
Let's jump into because you are a single woman.
I am. Not by choice, but God, wherever my man is.
But what you doing, Kiana? Because I told you, I know her. And what they say on Martin, if everywhere you go smell like cabbage, and damn it, maybe it's...
And whatever. So let's be clear. My father is still working on my husband, okay? I don't know if he gave the man an atlas. He trying to get his coordinates right.
He still got AOL. He printing out the map quest.
Something that's happening. That baby might be down to the map quest. But I will tell you one thing that Kiana Dancie, is not willing to do is settle. Okay. I'm not one of those women who have to have a man. And I know that there are a lot of women out here that say, I deserve a man. I'm talking about me. I do too. And many women say, I want a man. But where are you if you're in such a place that you have to have a man? That tells me that you're not completely happy with yourself.
Gotcha. And then sometimes they say the person comes to you. Like if you're looking, you're not going to see it. But if you're not paying attention. Yeah. But at the end of the day too, let's make this point. You also got to match the person that you're destined to be with. Yeah. So if you coming in broke and he coming in with money, right? Because let's keep it real. You're a woman and you want a man that's going to financially be able to supply all your needs, right? So, not saying that you're looking for a sugar daddy, but it has to make sense.
I like a man with a few packs of sugar. Now here. With some sugar. Okay, so let me be clear, right. Isaac. Since that's what we're doing. Oftentimes, it gets confused. And I just did a podcast the other day where they were like, "Well, I'm looking for your." No. I'm not looking for my equal. And then let me explain what I mean by that. I'm looking for my greater than. Mm-hmm. I believe innately men feel better about themselves to be providers for the woman that they have in their life. I'm not saying that I don't help. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that I'm not willing to help build. But what are you bringing to that table that I'm building on? See, a woman can't submit. A woman cannot yield if you don't have a plan. Right? And you don't have direction. So let's be clear. I'm a busy woman. I'm building an empire. What am I, bae? I'm building an empire. Mm-hmm. And if it can't show up with at least a brick, we're going to have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Sorry, you ain't got no hammer, no nails. You know what I mean? But you just in here looking. Now, I get it. And oftentimes, men misunderstand what I mean by that. Right. They get in their feelings like, well, no. I'm a traditionalist. Mm-hmm. I understand. Listen, sir, you bring home the groceries, I'm going to cook. Now, I might have to hire somebody. Right. Somebody might have to give me a recipe. I had to call my mama. How I make this? He want me to make some gravy. You know what I'm saying? He brought the flour in. He brought the onions. You know what I mean? Help me, ma. But what I'm saying is I'm a traditional woman. I want a man that wants a woman that not only does she help him build, right? She pray for him. She pour into him. And she covers him as he does me. Right? So what am I doing? I'm praying and I'm working and I'm very busy and I'm doing me until he comes. I'm not going to settle. Right. I'm not interested in just being in a relationship. Now, again, we're all broken, right? Mm-hmm. We're broken to a certain capacity, but are you working on you?
Right.
Are you taking care of your business? Are you like, so when a guy say to me, you know what I'm saying, I'm just looking, a man actually said, all these women, all they have is these degrees, and they just show up, they pretty with all this, they got just big butts and degrees. Well, sir, let me tell you something. How does that look? A big butt on your arm with some degrees. First of all, she's something to look at. Okay. Second of all them degrees gonna help you run your business. Right. If you got a pretty girl and she ain't got nothing in her head, that's your fault. You chose. Right. But Kiana Dancie is doing what she needs to do, so that when my man comes into my life, he's not coming just to big butt and some degrees. It's gonna be more to it.
So working on yourself.
Yes.
Right, because that's kind of like the underline in this interview of going from one thing to the next, but working on yourself so those things won't happen. So you are an author now.
I am an author.
Let's show that book.
So I am an author, and I'm so proud of this book. I'm so proud of it, and the reason why I'm so proud of it,
and let's say when you were coming off of Sister Circle, you were already in the process of working on this book. So you was working on yourself and working on other things. Yeah. So it kind of like flew.
It did. It absolutely did.
It was flowing in God's purpose, because you knew that you had to work on yourself. You knew you was working with women. You was the only child. That was a struggle for you to get along with other women because you didn't have a sister. And you know what I mean? So
I think it was. I can get along with women.
Well, you know what I mean. I just meant like it's a group of women that you have to fit into.
Yeah, I would say this: it was the first time that I ever had to work in an all female environment, because remember, as a stand-up comedian, it's mostly all men, right? So you're right with that. There was definitely some things that I had to learn, some adjustments I had to make. So the book was inspired by a couple things.
Let me see the
bookmarks.
The bookmarks.
Let me tell you what inspired this book.
Okay.
So,
and then you got some type of affirmation.
Yeah, I got some things on the back that we're gonna talk about that. So the book is called Bye Bye Bags: Laughing to Lighten the Load, where I discuss healing myself whole through laughter. And now, so I will be very honest. It sounds real deep, right? But I got plastic surgery. I removed the bags under my eyes, and as I was laying in my bed, having a full conversation with the Lord. With the Lord, I was having a conversation. I said, God, I need a favor. I need my eyes to be the same size, because I did this on TV, and I went to a black plastic surgeon, so I didn't know if the man had been sleepy. I don't know if I wanted to make sure that the man knew what he was doing. Right. I went through the process. It is what it is. I got bandages over my eyes. I said, Lord, I need these eyes to heal well. I need them to be the same size. I'm gonna kill them when I come out these bandages. I said, they gonna be sick of me. I said, they gonna be sick of me. When I tell you, they gonna see these big old eyes and this gap just smiling and cheesing. And then as I was laying in my bed, I promise you, Isaac, I heard God said, yes, you will. They will be sick of you. And you gonna heal so pretty. You gonna be so pretty. He said, but sis, you ugly on the inside. Oh. I said, who you calling ugly? And he answered me. He said, you. I said, wait a minute, Father. Who are you talking to?
Wow.
And the man said, you got some work to do. So as I was working on my external, I said, okay, Father, I'm going to do just that. I'm going to work on my internal. So I called my mom. I said, Mommy, come upstairs. Run. You know, she ain't running. She said, what you going to give me? I said, I got some chicken. So she came. So I said, come upstairs. And I said, I need to talk to you. She said, what? I said, I need you to write down 3 things. So as I was going through all the things that I need to work on, all the things in my mind, because I couldn't do anything. I couldn't see. I said, Mommy, write down this. So I had her write down one thing that reminded me of an insecurity, one thing that reminded me of a failure, and one thing that reminded me of a shortcoming. But what were those? So insecurity, you know what I'm saying? One of the insecurities was, I'm 40. At that time, I was 40 something and wasn't married. For some people, per Kevin Samuels, rest in peace. I'm a washed up woman.
Oh, yeah.
I forget what they call the people, but he
after
don't really.
35.
Yeah, after 35, the man say you no good, but it's good. It's good. But anyway, I'm just trying to tell you that ain't the truth. I pick. You know what I'm saying? What I want.
Right.
Okay, anyway. So I was a little insecure about that. I was in a long-term relationship with my ex. As you know, we were together for 10 years. The man asked me to marry him 4 times. Every time he proposed to me, it was an escalation of desperation, right? So I felt some kind of way. And then the only reason I allowed myself to feel that kind of way was because of societal pressures, right? I chose to not be a mother because I didn't want to be a single mom. I saw my mother go through that, and that's not what I wanted to be my story. So I allowed that to be my insecurity. And then then also I was a child molestation survivor. Never ever talked about that openly because I thought people would not only judge me but judge my mom. Right. And so my mother said to me, Kiana, how dare you not speak your story? Right. If you realize, first of all, I didn't feed you to the monster. That man was in your life forever. I thought he loved you and loved me. Right. It happened one time, no penetration, but still was inappropriate. Right. It was just touching, and it was not triggering. And it was still something that I had not necessarily dealt with openly. Right. So she said, you sit on a national syndicated talk show and you don't speak your truth and you don't tell the people what you've gone through. She said, if you cut on the light, you'll realize you're not the only one in the room. Right. Boom. As soon as I started saying that, it was me too. I've been through that. My mom kicked me out. My daddy didn't believe me. It was my mother. Right. It was my what? It was my brother. It was my uncle.
It's so crazy. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he literally just came out and just told me that happened to him as a child. And he said, Ike, that's the first time I ever said it out loud. And I was so surprised that, because he just said it like, that happened to me. Because we was talking about something, and then he said, I know it because it happened. And I was like, wow. And it was a family member. And it's just crazy how to this day he still has not dealt with that.
Right. And oftentimes the monster is a family member. Sometimes you would think that you're leaving your kid or your child, your loved ones, with someone who you think you can trust, and honestly that person is taking advantage of them. And I did not speak of it just because I didn't want people to judge my mom, thinking that people would say she was a bad mom. And then the last thing was I lost my dream job. On Sister Circle. Didn't know that I wasn't going to second season. So those are things that I didn't necessarily deal with, and I was walking around angry. Let me tell you about baggage. Your baggage will show up in a room or a relationship before you will. So if you're mad, you angry, you sad, you got a bad attitude, you kirk with people, whatever it is, people know that about you. How you treat them, they know that about you. Either they heard it through the grapevine or they've experienced that with you, they know. So I needed to fix all that. So as I was working on me, I said, okay, well, let me write the book. Let me tell the people how to fix them. And then in the midst of that, sometimes you just got to laugh. There's a whole laugh exercise. You want to get rid of your baggage so that you can get some luggage. Let me tell you, because baggage gonna hold you back and hold you down. You know what I mean? All that drama, child molestation, survivor. Well, at one time I wasn't a survivor; I was a victim, right? So you've been through it. Your bad relationships, your girlfriend left you, you lost your job. All this stuff holding you back. Well, once you deal with it and you face it, now you can get some luggage. Luggage is gonna set you free. You're gonna go somewhere, friend. You're gonna go on a vacation, a staycation, and maybe even a vacation. You understand? So you need to get rid of your baggage so you can fly. Period. And until you act and see, and I'll be honest with you, you can't heal if you don't address it. See,
so from your book, from the laying on your back, having your mom write these things out.
That sounds kind of sexy, laying on my back. I ain't say that, he did.
So writing the book.
Yes, sir.
You as a person, do you look for people to tell you what's wrong with you? Like, I'm just asking, like, because you know that you're open for people, but is that something that now hits you where you're like looking for cues of what's wrong with me, or do you not let that be a thing that stops you from building new relationships? Not relationships, intimate relationship, but business and all those things.
No, I don't worry what anybody say. You know what's wrong with you. You know when you're, what people have also said about you in the past, and even the things that you're doing in the future. I don't necessarily say, did you got something to say? So no, I don't do that at all.
How important is it for people that are watching, that are, saying what I will, I refuse, that's what it says on the back, and today I burn, right? So these things that I don't like about myself, or I heard that people said about me, I'm burning those things, whether it's mentally or physically, right? Take a piece of paper, like, because you do your events that you host, you do those are the exercises.
So to tell you what the exercise is, because we skipped over that, I want everyone to write down one thing that reminds of an insecurity, a shortcoming, and a failure. Write it down. Why you want to write it down? Because now you're acknowledging that you have the problem. You want to tear it up because it's trash now. It's garbage. Get away from me. I'm done with it. And you want to burn it up. Why do you want to burn it up? Well, I won't even go scriptural. I won't go scripture. But I'm just going to tell you the simplest form till you understand. When they set fire to the forest, they're trying to burn the underbrush so the new can grow, right? They want to get rid of the weeds so the new growth can come. That's what you want to do. You want to set fire to anything that's held you captive or hostage in your past. Listen, my homegirl called me the other day, Isaac. Can I burn the man? Girl, no. You can't burn the man. Let me tell you something. I got a couple dollars. I can possibly get you out of jail. And I might even know a judge. It's something about knowing a judge and having a little bail money. But friend, what we're not trying to do is talk to these people about murder. Okay? Girl, write the man's name down to the paper if you absolutely have to.
Then do you recycle that burnt? No.
It's dust, baby. It's gone. It's gone. So, but yes, that's what I want you to do. Write it down, tear it up, and burn it up.
So then the question then is, do you go and apologize or go and have open dialogue with that group of people or that one person? Is that important too in this process, or do you kind of let it go and just hope that the next time you see him, you change?
It's interesting that you say that because sometimes that's necessary. At the end of my book, I have reflection questions on page 275, and
I need the congregation to change.
Come on. Okay, so on page 275, turn it to 275. There are questions here that I really want you to actually address. First of all, the first question is, what are some of the bags you have carried and why? You have to actually acknowledge, this is what I've been through, this is what I'm going through, and this is how I got here, right? And then who besides you? Because sometimes your baggage is not just you didn't pack them bags by yourself. Right. It could have been generational issues. Grandma showed you something, mama ain't wasn't about nothing, whatever it is. Right. Somebody helped you pack them bags, but who helped you carry them bags? Sometimes the people in your life actually help you stay in the place that you were in.
Right. The bad place.
Yeah. The bad place.
Mm-hmm.
For example, if this is an extreme example, but if you were crackhead and mama buying you crack, mama, you help me.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
We give you extra money. Like,
give you extra money. Go ahead, baby. Go get you some little crack. Whatever. I'm just don't listen. It is what it is.
But no, it is true because it could be anything. It could be somebody that is sober from drinking, an alcoholic, and
600 pounds, and ain't nobody taking you to the gym, but buying you two happy meals. Ain't nobody at 600 pounds only eating Happy Meals. About 5. You're right, but they eat. You hear me?
I never watched that show. I see like clips, but I never sat and watched that show.
Well, I've seen it before. So, and here's what you're asking me: have you candidly discussed the pain and the effects that are associated with that baggage? So the person that helped you pack those bags, the person that helped you create them bags, have you had that conversation with them? And I encourage, this book right here for me was a healing process for me. And I think that anybody that reads it should go through the process. They should write down, tear it up, burn it up, but also go through the reflection questions. Singles, couples, everyone. I think they can pick up something from this.
And where can people find the book?
Oh, honey, they can get it. You can get this book at Amazon. You can get this book on my website. You can get it from my website, KianaDancie.com. It will be an autographed copy. You can go to Barnes & Noble.
You signing the books?
I signed the books, boo. I do. And one of my friends said, "Can you kiss it?" I said, "Huh."
Well, that is your logo.
I mean, your lips, whatever. Branding. But that okay. So so Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Target, Walmart, anywhere that you can buy books. You can actually just, the other day I Googled Kiana Dancie book and a whole bunch of sites popped up. So I'm available all over.
Nice. And then your Instagram.
So my Instagram is at Kiana Dancie. I did not put the Kiana Dancie because it was just too long, right? But it's KianaDancie for the most part. If you just put my first name and the D, it should pop up. But that is also my website, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, fan base. I'm the same on all social media platforms.
Well, I'm super excited to have you as one of my guests for the first season of Love Your Brand Live podcast.
I love it. And, congratulations.
Thank you. And you have so much that you had going on now, new going on, and future going on. So I'm excited about that.
Well,
I'm going to be a part of it. So it's like, I'm saying here asking you these questions, but
I'm super excited and very proud of you. I can tell you this: if you guys need a cell phone repaired or anything, all things mobile, we repair, we sell devices.
If you need a PlayStation
or a PlayStation, I got it. Pull up, but don't break into my business.
Black
on that part. We are at CPR Cell Phone Repair Duluth at 2200 Duluth Highway, Suite 102, Duluth, Georgia 30097. We are open every day, so just give us a call 678-691-8787. Okay?
She better give the number.
Plug. You hear me? But make sure you follow me. If you ain't getting none of that information, follow your girl down to the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Once again, I want to thank you, the Kiana Dancie, for joining me today, and I look forward to all things great coming. And and don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Izzy Ike, IZZY.
Come on, Izzy Ike, you better follow Izzy Ike.
Follow me.
Yes.
So thank you so much. So everybody, the Kiana Dancie.
Bye. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
I enjoyed it. You look good.
Thank you.
Beard shiny, hands look moisturized. You look like you're sleeping in the duvet that I sent you.
Oh, I am. Let me tell you about that. And I got the cover because I ordered the cover.
Yes.
So I got the comforter. I like a lot of comfort and stuff like that. People be sleeping nude. I don't know how people do that.
I don't know how. I
could do the down to the drawers and the wife beater, but I can't.
So that duvet is very comfortable, but I was like, I didn't want to buy the cover for you because I wasn't sure the color scheme that you had.
And
but
I ain't know nothing about no damn duvet.
Yeah,
so I was like, just give me the white.
You got to train the people. Sometimes they don't know. So the duvet is actually down feathers in a like a big cotton situation. It's like a big cotton, I don't know how, it's feather-filled blanket, right?
It's comfortable.
And it's very comfortable. It lasts a long time. I have one that I've had probably like 15 years.
Yeah.
And it comes, most of the times it's white. More than 99.9%. I've never seen a colored, ooh, that's terrible, a colored. I've never seen a colored duvet.
Right.
So the inside is the actual, the duvet is white, and then the cover is whatever color you choose for it. Yeah.
So I got white just so I can have that white appeal.
I love it. So, okay, but then that will help it keeps it sustaining.
Yep.
So But I appreciate you having me here.
We sleep together every night.
Oh, not really, but kind of.
Not really, but kind of. I think about you as a pullback.
I appreciate the thoughts. I hope they're warm and good and positive thoughts. Yes.
Always.
Yeah.
I feel like we're ending the show again.
We are ending the show again, but that's all right. I just want you to.
This is the Kiana Dancie, so she keeps the comedy going. It's never a dull moment. So
listen, the one thing I want you to remember about my books: you are not the bags you carry.
Gotcha.
That's it. All right. Are we over? Bye.